So this section here, so it's going to be similar with our distribution stuff, kind of like with the histograms that we did before. But now instead of just it being just the regular set of data, they're going to do cumulative data. So if you've heard of cumulative before, it's basically like totaling stuff up over a period of time. So like when they say like cumulative snowfall for the week or something like that, you're taking each day's snowfall totals and adding them together. So that's the same with this data here. And then when we do a cumulative distribution, instead of just using regular frequencies or regular relative frequencies, we're just using cumulative ones where we add the previous things onto it, okay? So it'll make more sense when we jump to our sheet here. So if you jump to your example sheet, we'll look at those. So the first one here, we got a table there of average monthly precipitation in Kansas City, Kansas, and they want us to fill in the cumulative precipitation column. Okay, so cumulative is, again, us adding the values together. The first one is always the same, so if in January it was 1.13, it would just be 1.13, okay, because that's the only month that we could add to it. Then what we do for the next month is we take whatever that value was, we add it to this value, and that gives us this one. So basically that one added with that one gives us that one. Okay, so if we took like 1.13 and added 1.02 to it, what do we get there? So taking that one plus that one. 2.15, right? And then you just continue on with that. So you would take this one, add that one to it, which would be, I'll just kind of write them in for you to save some time. So 4.53, take 4.53 plus 3.27, should give you 7.80. Add the next one, you get 12.35, 17.08, 20.69, 24.31, 28.48, 31.76, 34.06, and the last one, 35.51. So again, you're just taking whatever your previous number was, adding your new month total, and then that gives you the cumulative value. Okay, so then they want us to make a bar graph of the information, so that's kind of what the graph paper is in that bottom corner there. We'll make a little bar graph. So I'm just going to kind of sketch out, we know it's just got to be in the positives, right? So just sketch myself out a little graph down there. And then bar graph is similar to our histograms, right? We're just going to do it for a category instead of an interval of numbers. So like our groups here would be like the months, so like January, February, March, and so on. Just to save on time, or not time, space. Usually with bar graphs you put like a space in between the things instead of like putting them all back to back, but I don't know if we'd have enough room if we tried to do that for all the months, so I'm just going to put them all back to back. So I'm going to go like January, February, March, and just kind of do all my 12 months out there. It's also good when we're doing these to put labels on this stuff. I didn't count off for it on the quiz, but it is good to have labels. So that would be like months going across that way. Up the side, they want us to graph with our cumulative numbers, so it would be like cumulative precipitation. And they're measuring that in inches. And then going up the side, since we are using the cumulative numbers, we got to go up to at least 35, 36, right? You want to maybe count by fives? Try that. So if we count by fives up the side, and then I go up to like 40. And then all we got to do is just look at our month and then look at what the cumulative precipitation number is. So for like January, 1.13. So just kind of eyeballing where we think that might be, getting ourselves a little bar, doing the same thing for February. So February, you're using the cumulative number, so you're using the 2.15. And then same with March, you're using the cumulative one, so 4.53. Just kind of eyeballing it the best you can, and then just keep going across there. So for each month, make sure you do the cumulative one. I'll let you do that. As you go and graph this there, what should always happen with our bars as we go across? Yeah, they should always go up, right? Because if we're doing cumulative, we're always adding more on each time, so they should continue to go up each time. Okay, so that answers part B for us. Part C, when has 1/4 of yearly participation fallen? So what I would do for that is I would take 1/4 of whatever the total is and see where that's at, and then help me to figure out what month that's during. What is our total amount of precipitation? That 35 number, right? So we're going to use that number. Let's do it off to the side here. Times a quarter of something, so 0.25 times that total, 35.51, which I've got that it's like 8.8775, I think. And then what we're doing is we're taking that number and figuring out like what month that would happen during. So looking at our list there, what month would we hit 8.8? Well, so it's past April, right? Because April's at that. So probably in the middle of May, right? So not quite the end of May because we're at 12 something at the end of May. But you could just put for part C during May. We don't know exactly when, if they got rain early in the month or late in the month, but sometime during May. And then we just do the same thing for part D there, except for this time we want half of our yearly precipitation. So we just do it times 0.5 instead. And for that, I got 17.755. So what month would that happen? July, yeah. So it's just over our June total, so it would have to happen during July. So I just put during July. Oh, that's not helpful, is it? There we go. Sorry, that's my bad. Oh, it's not even over there, so. At some point it'll come up. There we go. Okay. I'll give you a second there and then I'll flip it. We'll go to example 2. Okay, cool for flip. And the video will be up later too. You can look at it there. So, all right, example 2. So similar situation, except for this time they give us all our cumulative ones, and we've got to figure out some of the just regular numbers on the other side. So complete the table, show how many students registered for classes each day. Okay, so if our cumulative after one day was 155, what's our total for Sunday? 155. Those ones are always the same. Okay, so now for Tuesday, now we've got to figure out that value there. How could we use our cumulative numbers to find that one? Subtract them. Yep, the 914 and the and the 625. Yeah, so if we subtract those, that'll tell us how much we gained on that day. So if we do that, 914 minus 625, you should get 289. So that's how many people registered on that day. And then we could do the same process with the previous, or these other ones, right? Where we could do 1,265 minus 1,168. That one I got 97. And then same with the last one, you could go 1,350 minus 1,265. And for that one I got 85. Okay, and then this time what they want us to do is they want us to make a line graph showing the cumulative stuff. So again, down here we'll do our part B. Again, I just sketch out graph here. Same as before, our things are going to go across the bottom, so like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. So I'm just going to kind of space those out across the bottom. I'm going to give myself 2 spaces. I kind of started that one over a bit, but that's fine. And those would be our just days, would be your label. And then up the side, we got to go up to 1,350. Maybe count by like 200. I'll count by 200s up the side. As long as you go up to 1,400, you should be all right. And then our label for that one would be number of students registered. They're registering for classes. I guess I didn't read the directions, but kids registering for classes on different days. And then we're just making a line graph here, so you're just plotting your cumulative points again. So like on Sunday, 155, putting a point there. Monday, 625, putting a point there. And then when you get your points, you can connect them in a line for a line graph. And then just continuing on with that. And again, with that one, same thing. it's cumulative, so it's going to kind of keep going up. And looking at like the beginning of your graph, it's jumping up more sharply there than it is towards the end, which kind of makes sense because probably more people are going to register at the beginning of the week than wait until the end of the week. These are the procrastinators up there. But that logically makes sense. Okay, so that's our line graph. And then C and D are very similar to what we had on the last question. So Win had half the students registered, so again, you'll just take your total amount, so the 1,350, and then you're just going to take that times 0.5 for a half. And that should be 675. And then during what day would that happen? Tuesday, right? So you could just put Tuesday. Oops, if I spelled Tuesday right. Or you could put during Tuesday or at some point on Tuesday, something like that. And then D, same thing except for 75%. So your total again, 1,350. This time times 75%, which I got 1,012.5. So be careful on this one. When would we hit 1,012? On Wednesday. So it's really close to being not on Wednesday and being on Thursday, but obviously 1,012 happens before 1,050. So that would happen on Wednesday. Okay, and then the last little thing to talk about there is that percentile stuff. You guys have probably heard this before. It's something they use when they do like the state tests, like map testing and Iowa assessments. So for the actual definition, it says the p percentile of a set of numbers is a value in the set such that p% of the numbers are less than or equal to that value. What that actually means, I think the example makes more sense. If you get someone, or you get results back that says you scored in the 85th percentile, that means you scored at the value or above 85% of other people who took that same test, okay? Which means on the opposite end of that, that 15% of people scored better than you. So you scored better than 85%, but 15% scored better than you. Okay? Okay. So book page assignment there, page 42, 1 to 9. The assignment got kind of long when I was doing it the other day since there's a lot of graphing and stuff, so I just cut a couple of them out just because I knew it was going to take forever. So you can get rid of number 4 and get rid of number 8.